Imagine this, the roar of Soldier Field fatting into a tense hush as Odunze, the electrifying wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, clutches his foot and hits the turf. It's late in the 2025 season, the playoffs looming like a storm on the horizon, and in that split second, everything hangs in the balance. Fans hold their breath, hearts pounding, because Orem isn't just a player. He's the kid from the dairy farm who dreamed big under Nevada lights, the one whose every catch feels like a victory snatched from the jaws of doubt. But as the medical staff rushes in, and Orem's face twists in that quiet, determined pain we've all seen in warriors who refuse to break, you can't help but wonder, how did this young man, barely 23, rise so fast, only to face a setback that tests the very fire that fuels him? Today, we're diving deep into Odunze's world, the triumphs, the heartaches, the love stories that keep him grounded, and the unbreakable spirit that's already etching his name into NFL lore. Pull up a chair, because this isn't just a bio. It's the story of a soul who's chasing greatness one gritty step at a time. Let's rewind to those sun-baked summers in Provo, Utah, where the air smells like fresh hay and endless possibility. Orem was born on June 3, 2002, in Orem, just a stone's throw away, to parents who poured their worlds into him from day one. His mom, Nishia Bunnell, grew up right there on her family's dairy farm, waking before dawn to milk cows and mend fences, her hands calloused but her spirit unbreakable. Nishia taught Orem the rhythm of hard work, the kind that doesn't come with shortcuts or spotlights, just the quiet satisfaction of a job well done. Picture a little boy, no older than 8, knee-deep in mud, shoveling feed or chasing escaped calves, his laughter echoing across the fields. Those weren't chores to Orem. They were lessons in resilience, in how to stand tall when the ground beneath you shifts. And oh, how that farm life shaped him, instilling a humility that shines through even now, when he's dodging defenders on national TV. Then there's his dad, James Odunze, the history buff whose love for ancient empires sparked Orem's very name. James's family hails from Nigeria, immigrants who crossed oceans with nothing but dreams and a fierce determination to build something lasting. He named his son Orem after the Eternal City, that sprawling testament to ambition and legacy, whispering stories of gladiators and conquerors as bedtime tales. James wasn't just a dad. He was a guide, pushing Orem to excel not just in sports, but in school, in character, everything. "Do the best you can in every aspect of life," he'd say, his voice steady like the roots of an old oak. When Orem was just 3, the family uprooted to Las Vegas, trading Utah's rolling hills for the neon glow of the Strip. But those Nigerian roots ran deep. Family gatherings buzzed with jollof rice and tales of ancestors who'd fought for every inch of progress. Orem grew up straddling worlds, American dreamer with an immigrant's grit, and it forged him into someone who plays like his heart's on the line, because it is. His parents weren't perfect, but they were present, enrolling him in Bishop Gorman High School, that powerhouse Catholic institution in Vegas where faith and football intertwined like vines on a trellis. There, amid the prayers and the pads, Orem first glimpsed his destiny. High school wasn't a straight shot to glory. It was a forge, hammering out the raw talent into something lethal. At Bishop Gorman, Orem exploded onto the scene, his 6'3" frame slicing through defenses like a hot knife through butter. He racked up over 3,000 receiving yards, but it was the intangibles, the way he'd block downfield for teammates, the leadership that made underclassmen believe, that caught scouts' eyes. Off the field, though, life tugged at him in tender ways. Summers back on the farm weren't vacations. They were resets, grounding him when the hype started swirling. He'd return to Vegas stronger, his body lean from labor, his mind sharp from solitude under starlit skis. And through it all, his parents were his anchors, Nishia with her gentle wisdom, James with his unyielding expectations. They dreamed big for him, but never louder than he did for himself. By graduation, Orem wasn't just a prospect. He was a promise, heading to the University of Washington with a fire that no one could extinguish. College, that's where the magic ignited, where Odunze became a household name whispered in awe. The Huskies' purple and gold draped him like a cape, and from his freshman year, he was electric, catching passes that defied gravity, contorting his body midair for impossible grabs. But 2023, that was his symphony. Consensus All-American, Biletnikoff Award finalist, and yeah, that heart-wrenching runner-up finish in the national championship. Rome hauled in 92 catches for 1,640 yards and 13 touchdowns, each one a love letter to the game that had carried him from cow pastures to prime time. Fans fell for him not just for the stats, but for the soul, the way he'd point to the heavens after a score, honoring the family legacy that got him there. Draft night in 2024 was pure poetry. The Bears, hungry for a spark, selected him 9th overall. Rome's voice cracked on the call, tears streaming as he hugged Nishia and James in their living room, the weight of generations lifting in that moment. "This is for you," he whispered, and you could feel the emotion ripple through the airwaves. Chicago welcomed him like a prodigal son, pairing him with Caleb Williams in a duo that promised fireworks. His rookie year delivered. 54 receptions, 734 yards, 3 touchdowns, including that first career score against the Colts, a 1-yard dart that sent Bears Nation into delirium. But football's a jealous lover, isn't it? It gives with one hand and takes with the other. Fast forward to December 2025, and here we are, hearts heavy as Rome battles a stress fracture in his foot. It started as a nagging heel twinge back in October, the kind you push through because quitting isn't in your DNA. But by week 14, against the rival Packers no less, the pain went out. He sat, ruled out, the turf mocking him from the sidelines. Reports say it's not career-threatening, just week to week, a brief storm before the sun. Yet, watching replays of him limping off, you feel it. The ache of what could have been that Sunday, the 93 catches and 1,334 yards he'd already notched this season slipping into what-ifs. Rome's been stoic, posting subtle updates on social media. A photo of his wrapped foot captioned with a Bible verse about enduring trials. "The testing of your faith produces perseverance," it reads, and damn if that doesn't hit like a blindside hit. At 23, he's already learned the league's cruel rhythm. Highs that lift you to the gods, lows that drag you through the dirt. But here's the beauty, Rome doesn't crumble. He adapts. Just like those farm days taught him. Teammates rally, coaches adjust, and deep down, you know he'll emerge fiercer, that fracture mending into a scar of strength. Amid the gridiron grind, there's a softer side to Rome, one that blooms in quiet moments away from the roar. Enter Alana Davidson, the woman who's been his steady heartbeat since March 2022. They met at Washington, two souls navigating the chaos of college life, her with her sharp wit and ambitious dreams, him with that effortless charm that lights up rooms. Alana, 24 now, isn't just a girlfriend. She's a partner in the truest sense, the one who reshared that viral clip of Rome's highlight reel catch last month with a simple 4-word message. "That's my guy." Their story's the stuff of slow-burn romance, study sessions turning into late-night talks, Husky games where she'd cheer from the stands, her voice cutting through the crowd just for him. When the draft dust settled and Chicago called, Alana was there, tears in her eyes, whispering encouragements as they packed for a new chapter. She's pursuing her own path, balancing career aspirations with the whirlwind of NFL life, but their bond, it's forged in fire, anniversary posts dripping with vulnerability, like Rome's caption last year. "You make the impossible feel easy." In a league where relationships flicker like stadium lights, theirs glows steady, a reminder that even gladiators need someone to catch them when they fall. Alana's been his rock through the injury haze, too, FaceTime calls from training rooms, her voice a balm against the frustration. It's love like that, unflashy and profound, that keeps Rome whole. And speaking of wholeness, let's talk family, the invisible thread weaving through every chapter of Rome's life. Nishia and James aren't peripheral, they're the core. Even in the offseason, back in Vegas, you'd find them on the field, tossing passes from the Bears playbook. Nishia barking routes like a seasoned QB, James timing his steps with a stopwatch. "It's awesome," Rome said once, his grin wide as the horizon. "I've had it my entire life." That Nigerian heritage pulses strong. Honoring the name Odunze means carrying the weight of immigrants who toiled for a better tomorrow. Rome speaks of his grandfather's journey, the sacrifices that echo in his veins, fueling a drive that's as much cultural as it is personal. Family isn't just blood, it's legacy. Holidays blend Utah farm feasts with Lagos-inspired spices, laughter-filling rooms where stories of perseverance flow like wine. Rome's lifestyle reflects that grounded soul. No ostentatious flexes, just a modest apartment in Chicago stacked with history books, a nod to Dad, and farm-fresh produce when he can get it. Sure, the money's rolling in his 4-year, $22.7 million rookie deal adds a net worth around $3 million, with 2025 bringing in about $1.8 million in cash, plus those sweet $90,000 endorsement gigs from brands that see his authenticity a mile away. But Rome. He drives a sensible SUV, donates to youth programs in Vegas, and saves like the farm boy he is. Lifestyle for him is balance, intense workouts at dawn, quiet evenings with Alana cooking up storms, and calls home that stretch into the night. It's not glamour, it's grace, a deliberate choice to build wealth that lasts, not just shines. As we wrap this up, think back to that moment on the field, the pain, the pause, the promise of what's next. Rome Odunze isn't defined by a fracture or a farm. He's the sum of loves that lift him, lessons that harden him, and a heart that beats for more. At 23, with the world at his fingertips, he's already more than a receiver. He's a reminder that true greatness isn't measured in yards or dollars, but in the quiet courage to keep going. The Bears need him back, the fans crave his fire, and Rome, he'll rise because that's who he is. If this story moved you, hit that like button to show some love, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives behind the helmets, the heartbeats that make the game eternal. Until next time, keep chasing your Rome.